I'm going across to Dr. Peter Jacobson. Thank you very much. I've given you a fitting and befitting and abundantly strong reply. Now, Professor Jacobson, is this making things more complicated? Thank you.
Well, you could say it's making things more complicated, but on the other hand, you could also say it makes things more simple, in the sense that it's no news that Sweden and Finland are no longer neutral countries. They have been members of the EU for a long time. They have been, what I would say, de facto member of NATO for quite a while. They've aligned their military policies with NATO. They are undertaking joint military exercises with NATO, and they have also cooperated with NATO on military operations in the Balkans and in Afghanistan. So for a long time, both Finland and Sweden have been intimately connected to the NATO alliance. And I would say that even if Russia was contemplating taking some sort of military action towards either Finland or Sweden, they could not rule out that NATO would actually come to the rescue of both these countries.
But if you were looking,
it is just making what we already knew more clear.
Yeah, but Professor Jacobson, I'll put this to Glenn Deason from Oslo. Why would Russia not consider this a threat? If joining Sweden and Finland join NATO formally, this is Russia's backyard. This is encircling Russia. Encircling Russia. It is a threat.
Of course.
It is Russia's nightmare. It is Russia's worst nightmare. So the Russians will respond.
Sure. And I agree with Glenn Deason's very nice explanation of the dynamics of the security dilemma. But you also have to think about the consequences of your potential actions. And I think that Russia just learned that simply using force because you feel threatened might not be the world's greatest idea. They're facing a ton of problems in the Ukraine.
Okay.
And I just cannot see them adding more of this sort of problems to their list of problems already. So I don't see any threat of any military action towards either Finland or Sweden because of this step. But of course you have a point. It's going to increase
But don't you see the irony here? And I'll say something that will provoke Bodhan, but so be it. You know, Bodhan is very happy today that Sweden and Finland are joining NATO. But what Bodhan forgets, or rather wants to avoid, is that Ukraine, the country which has lost tens of thousands of innocent people in this war, whose president, who was with me live, has been begging for NATO membership and has been shown the door. I think it's one of the greatest ironies that NATO is pulling out the red carpet for Sweden, pulling out the red carpet, VVIP treatment for Finland, but is telling Ukraine to go take a walk. I'm surprised that Bodhan isn't. Professor Deason, the question to Professor Deason. I'm surprised that Bodhan is not protesting.